Tell our listeners about Tom and Cristina Ohlson.
I love Tom and Cristina. It's tough in this line of work because you become really good friends, it seems like, with people who are suffering. And it's a lot of times you see your friends pass away, and it is so difficult when watching the progression of this disease truly amongst your friends. Tom and Cristina are a great couple. They have 3 younger children who are watching their dad live with ALS. But Tom is a former U.S. diplomat. So as you can imagine, this is very difficult for him because he's lost his ability to speak, and that was kind of his main talent.
That's what he did.
Exactly, and he's so articulate. He emails me a lot, and him and his family are very involved in the walk, and that's kind of, I think, an outlet for Tom to have hope and to see that people are fighting back, and there are people like him suffering with ALS. He's a very strong man, and his whole family has really confronted this disease with great courage.
Before we get them on the phone, how does insurance handle ALS and ALS patients well?
I think it depends on every ALS patient's policy. One thing that our organization does is advocacy. We advocate for ALS patients. So every patient is assigned a care coordinator, and this care coordinator helps the patient advocate with their insurance company to get the best benefits available. Also, a few years ago, our advocacy actually helped pass the 24-month Medicare waiver. So now ALS patients have quicker access to care.
Okay, and we should mention that Tom is on a breathing apparatus, and we have set up just a couple of questions for him to specifically answer, and then we will talk with Cristina the remainder of the time.
Right.
Tom and Cristina Ohlson are on the phone from home. Hi, Cristina. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. It's great to talk with you again, and it's great to talk with Tom again. And we mentioned at the outset here, Tom is on his apparatus to answer a few questions for us. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw those to Tom right now. Tom, you're lucky to have your lovely wife at your side and your kids. And with ALS, how do you keep your spirits up?
Throughout this entire journey, my loving family and friends have supported and comforted me, my wife, Cristina, and 3 wonderful children, Logan, Fallon, and Freya, have always been there by my side and are the reason I wake up and view each day as a gift. One other benefit to returning back home is living near my sister Dawn and my dear friends Steve and Shannon. They are always there to help provide me with a ride or a good laugh. In addition, you must find a way to feel productive. Without a sense of purpose, you will deteriorate emotionally and mentally, as well as physically. Among other things, I have thrown myself into the fight for ALS advocacy, fundraising, and awareness, primarily through Ohlson. Between last year's and this year's walks to defeat ALS, Cristina and I have raised over $10,000, and we expect that dollar amount to grow. This May, we will also be participating in the Ohlson Advocacy Conference in Washington, D.C.
Tom, how has ALS affected your family? You have 3 children. You have a beautiful wife. How has this affected their lives?
I would desperately like to read stories and do homework with my youngest daughter, but I struggle just to type a sentence. When I went on the ventilator, I lost my ability to speak, and she cried for days. My older children's memories of the good times we had together, playing in the park, swimming at the beach, or joking around at the dinner table, are fading as they grow older and are instead slowly being replaced with images of my deteriorating condition and daily struggles. I see my wife struggle daily to look after me, children, and all the pressures of maintaining a household while still working part-time. I may never again be able to utter a sentence, eat a meal with my family, or walk along the beach with them. These are now minor inconveniences. The fact I may never see my son grow into the mature, responsible man I know he will be, or that I may never walk either of my daughters down the chance to grow old with my wife hurts me. I am tortured with guilt over leaving them so soon when they need me the most. However, I believe the burden of watching me steadily deteriorate tortures them just as much.
Tom, has this drug that we, Kamden and I were talking about, has it helped you at all?
Has any drug helped you at all?
Herein lies the crux of our problem. The great Lou Gehrig died from the disease that now bears his name almost 70 years ago. In the years since his untimely death at the age of 37, we have developed atomic energy, explored space, designed the internet, cloned life, and discovered treatments and cures for many of the diseases and conditions that afflict us. Yet, there is still no viable treatment or cure for ALS.
In case you just tuned into our program, we're talking with Tom Ohlson, who is on a speech apparatus, and his lovely wife, Cristina. Tom suffers from ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Cristina, both you and Tom have been involved with the ALS Association. Are you involved with support groups also?
Sure, yes. We are trying to attend the monthly ALSA support meetings as often as possible. Not only do the meetings often have speakers to address the issues of ALS, but we receive a lot of great information and emotional support from the other patients.
Yeah, how important is it that some family members of an ALS patient get support?
Very, very important. Jessica from ALSUP, she's the patient care coordinator, has been wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
She, more than anyone, pushed to make sure Tom received his full VA benefits. Tom was also asked to work with the Florida chapter of ALSA on the strategic plan.
Mm-hmm.
And he has derived great satisfaction from being able to provide his input on patient issues. ALSA has been our greatest provider of insight, assistance, and emotional support throughout our struggles with ALS.
Yeah. If somebody said to you, I have a loved one who has been diagnosed with ALS, what would be the first thing you'd tell them?
Oh, it's hard. I would, so many things, Ron. But first, stay productive,
mm-hmm.
interact with ALS community, and the most important thing, do not lose your hope.
Do you ever get tired of just talking about it?
No.
No?
No, I don't get tired of, it's interesting how Tom keeps me inspired and motivated every day.
How he keeps you inspired.
He does. Believe it or not, he has a great spirit, and he's so positive, and for him to wake up every day and just move on with his life, it keeps me strong enough to be around and just, fight for ALS.
Well, I want to thank you both for spending a few minutes with us here today. God bless you both.
Thanks talking to you, and thanks for having us again this year. And all the best to everyone.
We'll talk to you again next year.
Absolutely. We'll be here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tom and Cristina Ohlson. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Kamden, again, the man's in a fight for his life, isn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, I could hear even in the background there was his ventilator, his breathing machine. You could hear it going in and out. So it's tough. It's emotional for me to hear him again.
And the diagnosed, when someone is diagnosed, how many years do they have? I mean, is it really consistent? Does someone have 2 years and another have 5, or is it just really more consistent than that?
The average is 2 to 5 years. There are people who outlive that. And in fact, about 10% of ALS patients will live more than 10 years. So there are a lot of tools today that can give patients hope that they can have a long life and they can have a good quality of life with ALS. But sadly, that average lifespan is scary. It's only 2 to 5 years.
When was Tom diagnosed?
Ooh, I I would have to go back and ask him again.
Yeah.
I think it was 2005, but I could be wrong on that.
So we're talking about 5 years, and his body is deteriorated to the point. Is he in a wheelchair? He is in a wheelchair, and he uses an apparatus for speech.
Right. He currently uses a speech device, also a ventilator, which keeps his lungs breathing for him.
Yeah.
And these are things that, again, like I said, will improve his quality of life, so he can continue to enjoy times with his children. I know you heard him say through his speech device he feels guilty that he won't be able to walk his daughters down the aisle.
Yeah.
He feels guilty that he won't be able to see his son grow up into the mature, responsible man that he knows he will be. But fortunately, with some of these tools that are available, Tom can continue to have really good experiences with his children, even though, sadly, scientists will tell you his days are numbered.
Yeah. The ALS Association is doing their walk, the yearly walk, and we've got a couple of minutes. It's going to be where?
It's going to be at TY Park, and Tom and Cristina and their family will be there. Their team is called Tommy's Kids, and they will be there walking in full force. Like Tom said, they've raised over $10,000, and a lot of patients and families will do the same. They'll all gather at TY Park on March 6th. Check-in is at 9 a.m. Check-in's at 9, and then the walk starts at 10. But anyone and everyone can get involved. We just ask that you try to register before you come
Clearly.
at walktodefeatals.org.
And is each individual getting sponsors for their walk?
That's kind of the idea of the walk. It's this pay it forward idea. You ask your friend, who will ask his friend, who will ask his friend, and then suddenly we have this huge viral campaign of everybody getting involved in the Walk to Defeat ALS and in the fight to find a cure.
Was it at TY Park last year?
No, last year it was at a different park. However, we've switched locations, hoping we're going to get a little bit bigger and be able to attract more people from the South Florida area.
How many people did you do last year?
Last year was a smaller walk. We had, I believe it was about 400. However, this year, we have 6 walks around the state of Florida.
Terrific.
And as of today, the South Florida Walk at TY Park has raised to date the most money and has the most registered participants.
Excellent.
So we're so excited about that. South Florida's really coming
Excellent.
through.
Now, to get involved with the Walk for ALS, how do they do it?
Just simply go to walktodefeatals.org. There'll be like a little drop-down menu. Just pick Florida, because this is a national site, so you're just going to pick Florida. And even if you want to walk in one of our different locations, one of the 6 other locations, you just choose which location you want. It's a really simple process to register, and you even get your own. You can get your own online page where you can tell your story about why you want to walk,
All right.
and send your friends and family to it.
Kamden Kuhn, we want to thank you. Tom and Cristina Ohlson, thank you for being on the program with us. Good luck with the walk.
Thank you.